All right, I'm just checking if video audio is available. I'm opening up my chat, just making sure. Okay, all right. If you're watching me online, give me a thumbs up signal. I'll give you a shout out because I really want to appreciate and thank you for tuning in. It is the episode number 51, and we are going guns in this episode in the series called Unlocking Emotional Mastery. And traveling with you gives me a great pleasure. One, I am improving and I'm learning a lot of things on my subject. When I deliver this message, it gives me so much satisfaction that not only the subject, not only the audience, the receiver, even the technology had made it so seamlessly possible from any part of the world. We can deliver a message or transform people, impact people's life. Especially a subject like emotional intelligence is most needed at this point of time more than ever. In order to combat the current pandemic that we're all into, mental health, mental illness, it is important to hold this kind of tools on our hand and spread it. If you are able to make use of the tool, extract the juice of it, make sure that you're using it on a daily basis to see its effect. And if you really found it useful, and if it's really working in your life, spread it. Okay, that's how we can help each other and grow as a community. And uh, because of this series where we are trying to impart emotional intelligence using the brain power, it is all the more important that the skills and talents that we are trying to develop for ourselves, we have to spread this awareness and the talents that we can help our children, our loved ones, and our community members, wherever we transact in our life. It is important to impart that knowledge. And first of all, emotional intelligence is all about self. Initially, it starts with self. Only when you're able to read your emotions really well, and you have that enough emotional vocabulary, and you have the regulation in you, how you can manage your emotions really well, and hence you can take an extra step to channelize that energy to lead others, so that you'll be able to read the same in others, same emotions in others. And that is where you naturally become a leader. So if you really found these episodes really insightful, if you found it useful in your life, do not forget to share it with others whom you think most need it. And show me that love and support wherever you can. Just give me a thumbs up or a love symbol, like symbol, or show me your comments, right? Put your thought process as comments. Engage with me. I'll know that it is helping you out. So that will give me an inspiration to go ahead. And we are stepping into the next leg of the series. We have just completed 50 episodes in the series, and we will be stepping into the 51 episode today. Again, we'll be talking about decision making, and this is my most favorite and my talent, my top talent. And today's episode is even more, favorite for me because we're talking about how we can use our core values to align our decision making. If you know your core values and if you can align with that of your daily goals and long term goals, you will find yourself living purposefully. Because if you can, identify what are your values, because that is what is going to help you as a compass. It's like a North Star, which guides you wherever you fall off. Okay. You don't need an external support. It's like that voice, that little voice, which will keep guiding you. Similarly, you can see the light in the tunnel if act from your core values. Okay. If you can align your decisions with them, you will never lose your way. On that note, we'll see what we have today in order to establish your decision making via your core values and what are the implications of it, what are the advantages and disadvantages of using that till skills in you, using your left brain, right brain, and both brains. Where are we meeting the values and goals and and hence the decision making. And what is a case study to help you understand that, there are people who have demonstrated using the skill set, and what are the success, happen to them in their industry, in their expertise, and how can we model that? Okay. Without delay, I'm going to share what I have for you today, and let's see. All right. I hope the slide is visible, and we're going to start how we are going to be taking choices value based to live authentic. Okay. It is very important skill set for entrepreneurs, for professional, high stake professionals, for leaders, anybody who's leading team, anybody who's dealing with people. That also calls out for parents, for family people, for elders, for any community member who is responsible for people around them. Okay. As I already said, emotional intelligence has two components. It is not always about others. It is always, it starts with us. So it is not always with only with us. It is not always to be self-centric about what is happening to us. What is the benefit of us? It is also to do with others. So during this journey, whenever you deal with people, we don't live in isolation. We live with people, right? So whether it is family or at work, when you involve with people, emotional intelligence is a very important skill set. And typically today, this value-based decision-making process will help professionals at high-stake work and with important responsibilities. They will definitely need to know this, because that's what is helping them to align their choices to live a fulfilling life. And we'll discuss about practical tools to give you that checklist or examples where you can use these techniques and be able to let you do a future vision exercises. Okay. Practically solving the problems in the current scenario, as well as forecasting the future, how you can align your thought process, your feelings, your dreams, your aspirations towards your goals. Thereby, you will also get to know what are expert tips, brain hacks from different case studies. Okay. All being said, I'm so excited for this episode. Just keep engaging with me, and wherever you think it is relatable to you, you have been there, give me a smiley. And as much as possible, start taking notes. And at the end of the episode, I will ask you to take a note of all that and engage that as a comment. It will only inspire, not only inspire you, it will also inspire for other people who are listening to this episode. Okay. In case you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. So you will get notified whenever I come online. And for people who do not know me, my name is Brinda Kalyan Raman. I'm the founder of Women Freedompreneurs Hub, where I am on a mission to help women achieve freedom using emotional intelligence and digital entrepreneurship. In short, I am doing the series to help women. Practically everybody needs emotional intelligence, but my favorite audience, because those are the things that I've gone through as a busy mother. So my heart goes out to busy moms there, but that doesn't mean emotional intelligence stops there. It is needed for irrespective of any gender, any culture, any age group for that matter, even a student. I always say this, even a mid schooler, high schooler, those are the times that they start taking decisions on their own. So it is important for your school student, for your business, for your work, for your family. Okay. Let's see, what is value-based decision making all about? By definition, it is aligning choices with core values and belief system, ensuring decisions reflect who you are. That is where we lose our track. We don't know why we are doing what we are doing. Somewhere we feel disconnected is only because we are not, first of all, we don't know who we are, what are our likes and dislikes, what are our wants and needs, and how are we adapting to the work, to the family. Where is the connection between us with the, either the process or with the people around you? So these are some self-awareness techniques. Okay. When we talk about core values, it demands you to be self-aware. Only then you can align with value system of others. Okay. So your left brain approach, because this series is dedicated to activate your brain skills, we will venture into any episode, any skills using your left brain, right brain, and both brain approach. So your left brain is looking at values to help you identify key values, applying them logically to each decision. This is how your left brain is helping. That's your logical brain. And your right brain is helping you using your emotional intelligence to gauge that alignment with that of values for a long-term impact. Because your right brain is what, this is my right side. So right brain is what is enabling you to imagine the unknown. That is where you will get the burst of creativity and innovation. All that happens when you can visualize the unknown. Okay. So emotional intelligence is necessarily having, we need to take that creativity brain also to help you blend with logical data to be emotionally intelligent. Because emotional intelligence that demands you to be in the midbrain. That is where you're taking the blend of both easily together. But if you're too right-centered, right-based brain, if you're too extremely working in this, you're going to miss this logical brain. And then similarly, if you're too much on this side, it takes time for you to come and pick up this emotional data. By the time you will lose opportunities or maybe time loss, money loss, or maybe relationship loss. Okay. We'll see what is the benefit of value-based decisions. It's going to increase your fulfillment. Okay, you will feel satisfied and true to yourself when your decisions are aligned with values. Every transaction of life, it doesn't matter. Because when I started this decision making episode, 2, 3 episodes before, if you have not yet watched, please do so because you will be able to connect the dots. I keep telling you that as an average, an individual takes about more than 3,000 choices in a day, starting from what kind of coffee you want, what kind of outfit you want to wear, what shoes you want to choose, just go on endlessly till you hit your bed, right? So it is important to have that satisfaction daily basis as well. And it gives you a clarity in your goals, clarity for long-term goals and path by aligning your decisions with values. And it builds that strong integrity. When you're true to yourself, every word you utter becomes intentional. Every move you make becomes intentional. Thereby, your choices will also be intentional. The whole aim of emotional intelligence, there are 3 secrets. Okay. How your brain skills allow you to focus using your left brain, right brain, midbrain. How effectively are you taking your decisions, which are intentional, okay, which has a long-term impact also, and how you're able to channelize and be self-driven. These are the only 3 zones or 3 aim of you to be emotionally intelligent, especially using your brain skills. So in order to take that intentional decisions, that means what? You're not only true to yourself, you being true to yourself is also having a larger impact of people around you. If they are also, satisfied because of your decision making, that means you are living up, to others' expectations as well as your expectations. That is an ultimate satisfaction and freedom. Okay. So because I'm on a mission to, help you achieve freedom, these are the tools. So freedom doesn't come just like that on one fine night, right? It's not a weekend job. It is a process. It is a work in progress by embracing all these elements. Okay. So you will live with sense of integrity and moral character through value-based decisions. Whatever you speak becomes so meaningful. And whoever you transact with, whether it is at work in an official setup or at home, where relaxed and flexible, you can be on your whims and fancies. Like they say, right? How you are, even when somebody is not watching, that is called integrity, right? That becomes easy if you align your value systems with that of your goals. Now, what is the benefit? You will have a better relationship. You will develop healthier, more authentic relationship through value aligned decisions. Okay. It is not only with others, it also starts, first of all, it starts within yourself. You will feel good about doing something when you're really living in your values, right? And then it'll also enhance your motivation. You will become self-motivated person. Of course, you need to depend on external motivated factors, like it could be promotion, it could be a recognition, it could be a support from others. But how long, external support is always dynamic, right? You will get, you will not get. But internally, if you are motivated, because the source is within you, that will help you to move forward, even when you don't find support outside. So for you to get, motivated and get engaged in your work and personal life, this compass called values will definitely help you. So the challenge is for you to have this value-based. Why a person cannot take a value-based decisions, or in essence, what we are going to talk is, so we will see in the, later slides, we'll see what are the blocks. But then when we talk about brain skills, what we are actually trying to say is it is important to know that you don't overdo on any particular skill set or talent. Because if you do, that will also have a consequential effect on it. So what could that be? Suppose you are trying to, this could be a new thing. This could be a new learning. You want to go full on and practice it. Remember, I'm talking about brain, right? Left brain, right brain. And you're constantly taking decisions using this, both the brains. Whether you realize it or not, whether you like it or not, you can always say, no, 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 no. I'm a very logical person. I don't want to get emotional in all that. Emotional brain is not, it's not only letting you to be emotional. It's about how sensitive are you with emotions within you and outside you. That's all it is. Okay. It is up to you. You want to become hypersensitive or you want to just be sensitive so that you don't miss any data. It's up to you. But you need to be aware that you don't become hyper of either side. When you are that way, it's going to get you into difficulties in order to implement right time. Consistently making value-based decisions also could be very challenging, right? Especially when you're working under pressure. You may not like certain things at some point of time. Uh, when emotionally charged situations or project deadlines, criticality, you might have to be in harmony. Sometimes things won't fructify or things won't be the same way how you want it to be, right? But you can be harmonious to let it go, and you can always bounce back. You can always come back because the compass can, it's not always straight, right? It does shift, and those are the testing times. But you need to come back because your values will guide you to come back. Okay. So, and then you will also have a potential conflict. It might lead to conflict with people whose values differ. It's a very, very key important point that you need to make a note of it. When you have a value clash, I'll tell you two angles can happen. When you're working with people are different, right? Five fingers are not same within the family itself. People will have different likes, dislikes. Their value system could also be different, even though when they are in the same family. Okay. That is why it is important to have a common value systems, picking up from each other's strength and their power, inner power, and what suits the family goals based on your culture, your religion, or your school of thought. When you are in a family, it is important to have a code of honor. I learned it from my mentor, and I attribute all these golden nuggets, golden principles, golden values to my mentors. So, uh, you know, luckily in our family, we all got aligned. My kid or my spouse or my elders in the family, all of us are working towards certain values, and we identified our values. That's the beauty of it. We stick with it, and we always be grateful, and at the same time, we analyze our setbacks or adversities or our success, everything based on the values, right? So that we neutralize, we don't get hyped, we don't get psyched also, because we come back and ground ourselves saying that this is what is our value system and we stick with it no matter what. It's okay. Even if you're getting $1 million, it's fine. Even if you're not, it is fine, still fine, because we hold that integrity to our values. So it is very important to set up family value systems also, so that your children will know how to respond, how to react, or what to expect in their life. Okay, that will be a guiding compass for them also. But it's not just ending with the people around, right? You may have a clash with value systems when you're at work, right? It could be easy for you to do something with your family because you hold the ownership and you are responsible for it, and people can listen to you. Okay, but when it comes to work, it is bounded by company value systems. That is why any organization will have its values be spoken, and then comes mission, and then comes the process. So, if a leader is able to translate the vision of the company and his team project to his team members, then obviously it is a natural consequence that all the team members can align. It is that compass, it is that North Star, the values of the company and the mission will guide the common goals. Okay. So it is important for the leader to translate that. And it is important for the leader to demonstrate that. So again, you must not miss the self component. It is not just with the value clash with the other person. It is also value clash within you. So sometimes have a check-in like this. If you feel somewhere you are dissatisfied of something, you don't feel that happiness in you, or you feel it is inadequate, somewhere you're failing, go back and check your values. Quickly do a check on value systems. Are you working, aligning your values every day? What are your priorities? And in that priorities, is your values coming? It is actually a sequential step. In my community, that's the first thing that I will, ask my community members to do that exercise. Even before they learn any technicalities on emotional intelligence or setting up an online business, and all that is fine. But the first exercise they will do is to align their core values, and they will step into identifying their brain styles, because that's where they are going to get, their brain talents. Once they align their core value, once they know their core values, they're going to pick up the top talents, top 6 talents from their brain style reports, and we're going to do the alignment. That is where they are starting with their goal setting at all. It's called impactful goal setting. So this is why after this is done, they are totally aligned. In whenever they fall off the track, because life takes over, right? They immediately do a check-in. Okay, so where am I missing in my values? Am I, doing what it takes? Am I true to myself? Then if they see a missing element, that means there is a value clash between who they are actually, or what they want to do, and what they are actually doing. So they may be finding an inadequacy somewhere in the process, and then they just have to fix it. So it becomes easy for them to seamlessly follow. I also follow this. Whenever I fall track, I immediately go and have a check-in. So that way, potential conflicts can be, avoided. And that is how it is going to give you a longer decision-making process. Because the more, again, you just cannot be stuck with only the value alignment. What about your action? You need to be able to take that necessary action for you to make that alignment come true. If you are not an action taker at all, you're going to miss a lot of things. That is why decision making requires more data like this, taking value systems or goals, analyzing the past trends and, reviews and all that. Also taking that risk, stepping into that unknown zone if it is required, getting creative solutions and make it happen, whatever it takes. That is when a decision making is effective. Those are the metrics which can measure your decision making power at all. If you're not taking action, so there are two components for decision making at all. One is consequential thinking, another one is action taking. Otherwise, decision making cannot be measured. Okay. The more you're stuck with only value based and not taking action will reflect that it might slow down your decision making process at all. So, and then some more challenges could be emotional trust. If you're not taking actions, things are not, falling in track. And then you will start questioning your own values, right? Self-doubt will start kicking in and you will start be feeling, stressed out. Okay. Another thing is sticking to your values when others disagree can cause stress or guilt sometimes because there is a value clash. And how do you overcome? You need to be very clear in expectation setting. And you need to be clear in communication at all stages. You need to express clearly and either get their agreement or you agree to disagree and move on. Either that way, okay? Otherwise, you will carry the guilt and it will pile up as a stress. And then it could also limit your flexibility because you're stuck with, okay, this is my traditional values. This is what my, family taught me. Honesty is the best policy. And, I will be punctual no matter what, and I will expect the same thing from others no matter what. Even if it is my fiance or my spouse, this is how they are supposed to be because I need punctuality. You might need punctuality and you might want to demonstrate that. But is it a value system of others? Sometimes life can take over. They are not able to be punctual at certain things, certain times. Maybe they have a different story for it. You just have to figure out and tell them how important. Suppose you are a team leader and you feel, quite often a particular employee walks into the meeting very late. Okay. You might want to figure out with them, do a, one-on-one check-in to understand why are they late? What is the cause of their disengagement? And you also tell them how important it is for them to be on, punctual because they have to respect other people's effort as well. So despite of communicating, it is still not happening, then that means, some action to be taken. But then if you have not done this groundwork, and if you have not allowed it to be, embraced, very clearly communication matters a lot. And at the same time, you respect other people's values also. You given, right? So if you don't have this flexibility, it's going to interrupt your transactions, and you will not be able to adapt to the changing situations. So typically before pandemic, a classic example I always quote is, before pandemic, all the traditional business setup people, okay, whoever was running the traditionally physical retail setup and all that, it just got changed, right? After pandemic, everybody got hit, especially the physical setup people, right? Because everything is shut, the entire world is shut, and they're sitting at home. Only those people who had an online presence could flourish really well, uh, because they were adaptable. They took the hybrid mode. But then after pandemic, it is so very happened that everybody is pushed to adapt and have a digital presence as well. Right now, at this point of time, world has changed forever. It is no more, it's like pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. At this point of time, if you hold any business and retail business and you're not budging to embrace the technology advancement, then you're already lost in the game. Because it may be your core value, but you might have to consider, in fact, you will be forced to consider what is the changing situations. Accordingly, you'll have to add up new values. Okay. Then importance of this is, if you don't have it, what happens is you will end up in regret, dissatisfaction, and disconnection from your true self. Suppose you do have it, what happens is you will feel more authentic to do what you are doing, because you know why you're doing what you're doing. That gives you that fulfillment life with reduced regret and improved integrity. A professional taking a high paying job with conflicting ethical beliefs, even if it's in a high tech company, okay, giving you a highest pay that you can ever imagine, but it is against your ethical belief system. You won't be happy doing that job every day. So it is important to make that alignment proactively. Typically, a parent choosing a value aligned parenting style feels more authentic and confident and connected, right? It is even more clearer for the child what to expect. And the communication gets clearer every day. It is so very true. And their decision making can also be seamlessly done. Everybody will align because they're all aligned with the core value system. So we call it as code of honor. Okay. So we derive the code of honor from our team values and family values. And we stick with the code of honor. It is like again, a guiding compass for us. Okay. Statistically, also, 90% of individuals making value aligned decisions report higher job satisfaction, and life satisfaction is 90% for individual who make high valued decision making. All right. Now let's talk about, of course, who needs this? Parents, those raising children according to personal and cultural values, and professionals, individuals seeking career path aligned with personal beliefs, entrepreneurs, business owners, consulting, ensuring that ethical alignment in their ventures, individuals who are seeking meaningful life and purposeful living. With that being said, we'll see where we can apply value-based decisions. So the first thing is career, okay? Your career choices should reflect your deeper personal values, from work-life balance to ethical standards. It could be counterintuitive, but it is a clear shot, right brain competency we are trying to develop. Okay, we are trying to activate. But we will be taking a blend of logical component also. Just hang on there. Let's talk about your career choices where you're going to choose, okay, based on your value systems. I'll tell you how. For instance, if it is an environmental sustainability matters to you. So if you're more of nature and you want to save nature, conserve energy, and you're very particular about your community and environment, you might want to choose a company to, that actively reduces the carbon footprint and develops the green technologies. Of course, right now market is booming, and those are also the high paid, employment. So in my friend's case, uh, you know she quit a job with a fast growing retail fashion, apparel stores. She was a high paid manager there, highly paid professional. She quit her job and switched to a company which is more of environmental, initiatives. where they take care of the, effects of producing those kind of organic apparels. So it aligned with her values, and a day in and day out, she's more than satisfied. Of course, the metrics of money has to be there, but more than that, that energy exchange was high in her. Okay, so it, every day she going to job is never a stressful for her. Even if it is demanding a travel time for her, it's never been a stressful job for her. At the end of the day, even if she has worked for 12, 14 hours, she's a very happy person. Okay, right. Now, value-based parenting. Making parenting choices that reflect your deepest family values and principles is very, very important. A parent who values the independence, the freedom of time, okay, they will choose Montessori because they don't want to leave their kids to daycare, and God knows what they eat and how they move around and what kind of environment they are into. And every other time they pick up allergies from everybody, and then it goes on for, it's like a mundane thing, right? We all go through, especially working mothers. So in case you want that kind of independence, you might want to choose the Montessori education to foster that self-directed learning. And these prioritizing, cultural connection and all these immersion programs, there are many things that you can drive your children so that they keep connected with their values and culture, traditions. Okay. So parents who also involving or valuing the environmental consciousness might involve children in recycling, gardening, and sustainable practices from an early age itself. Okay. We all do at a very, naturally we all do, but then are we consciously doing? So this could be a value for somebody, some parent who's very serious about it. It may not be yet serious in us. That is why it is not part of our values. And that is why we are okay about it, but then we are not too conscious to make sure that our initiatives are aligned to it. Okay. So each choice becomes a building block in creating a value aligned family culture. For you, you may be needing your child intimacy. Open communication could be your value system. And, that taking informed decisions, you need to be informed and you need to make sure that you're taking informed decision. That could be a value decision. Otherwise, you will feel regret. So you will leave about anything else, but this one point comes to you, as a regret. Then you will figure out, okay, this is where I get aligned. So for me, one of the, in fact, three value systems are my core values. When I look at my life, as it is work or family, whatever it is, for me, freedom is important. And that is why my mission itself is, routed through freedom. So freedom from time, stress, and money is very important. So whatever transaction I do, even buying a gadget, okay, shopping itself, I'll make sure how much can I save my time and energy and money, of course. So each and every transactions, I always route it, and my freedom comes to me, and that will be the guiding force for even initiating anything in my life. Second thing is family. I initiate anything and everything, even doing a business online, is because I value my family. Of course, it gives me freedom. I don't have to travel. And, by just using this technology, I'm accessing the entire world. So that gives me entire freedom, right? This is a defining freedom also differs from person to person. And then comes for service. And because I work towards freedom from money, that means I don't want to live a debtful life. I want to be free from debts. That means I want to create mass passive income to an extent where I can save my time, save my energy, and focus that and align that to a larger mission. So it's a combination of both logical and emotional brain in it. Okay. Thereby, I also satisfy the service, the fulfillment that I arrive. You see, all my transactions in my life will be based on this. Next comes only whatever is the luxury or whatever vacation and all that is not never a part of my priority list at all. For me, these are the priorities. So, like this, if you have your value system, for somebody, it could be honesty. For somebody, it could be fairness. They want fairness in every transaction and they want honesty at all point of time. They will also be honest and they want the other person to be honest. So similarly, you need to figure out what values you have and accordingly make sure that you are aligning your decision choices. Now we talk about value-based decisions in business leadership. Business leaders must ensure their strategies and operation aligned with both personal and organization values. For example, a leader who values environmental sustainability might invest in green technology. It's a very classic example. People who are shifting from traditional, the so-called IT industry, to environment or any energy related, that clearly shows a different angle towards their thought process, right? Why? Because the value system. They want to contribute to environment. They want to help and support those people who support the nature. Okay. Similarly, if you can prioritize, there could be some company who prioritize employees' well-being. Of course, it might go like, typically they will incorporate health benefits, or, medical standards could be really high despite of their budget constraints, or industry standards could be. Maybe their competitive companies are not concentrating on that, but their value system is so that way. They will stand out, differentiate themselves in that. Okay. Then for somebody could be leaders who are committed to ethical practices, who demonstrate this and align their team also this way. These are all their behaviors, and their action are all springing out from their core values. Any human being, their actions can be, rooted to, if you just analyze their patterns of their transactions, you will get to know the source behind it. And that will definitely end up in an emotion, typically underneath core value. Okay. Then value-based in finance, very counterintuitive, right? Finance itself is like money related. Where can I build my value there? Then my finance or money will go second hand, right? Will take a second priority. Let's see how we are aligning it. So financial decisions offer powerful opportunities to align your money with your values while managing personal finances and investment, typically. Okay. That's where we need to be very careful, where we are investing and where we are spending. Okay. If you have the core beliefs which can guide your choices, that's the ultimate decision. There won't be regret, there won't be resentment, even if there is a failure. But we are not working towards failure, of course. There are so many options right now where you can still align. Okay. For instance, you may be that generation of people where you're very okay with just depositing 2,000 rupees or $100 in a month as an RD. Okay. You are not getting into any mutual fund. You're not that kind of a person at all. You're like a traditional person, traditional, believer that in all those traditional setup where, saving mode will generate a little bit of investment for you. You could, the other person could be, who wants to take that risk and, calculated risk, and they are ready to do that kind of an investment, which is still okay because based on their values. A person who's ready to invest in mutual funds, of course, it is a calculated risk. They look for some freshness, something which is different. They are not okay to wait for the traditional things to get liquefied and, wait for it. But the other person could be like, they are okay to wait. They believe in it. And that's what their family will also go through as a practice, right? So, for instance, again, environmentally conscious people invest in choosing their renewable energy stocks over fossil fuels, like, the crude oil and all that. While someone prioritizing social equity might invest in minority owned based business or affordable housing initiatives. You see, there is a traditional thing as well as versus the new age initiatives. So it all depends on what is your core beliefs. Sometimes I told you that you need to be flexible to adapt, thereby adding new values, which is still okay. You don't have to be stuck with the old ones only because world has changed, and you also have to change and adapt. So this approach extends to daily financial choices too. Someone valuing the local community might choose to work in banks, traditional banks, because they want to be connected with that local traditional setup. Someone who's like full adventurous They might work with SpaceX kind of a company where they're like, they want to innovate. They want to go outside the boundaries, outside the normal mundane thing. That is where their brain style gets satisfied because maybe it is coming out of their core values. Okay. And then it is important here to understand in your relationship, how is it affecting? Okay. In your relationship, if you can align your actions with shared values, which can create stronger, meaningful connections. For example, couple who value open communication, they will schedule weekly check-ins to discuss feelings and concerns openly. How many of you here do this? So the prioritizing work-life balance may be deliberately seen with this kind of a people who values open dialogue and that intimacy. It is very important for them. Family and relationship is very important. So they will figure out how to spend that quality time, phone-free time. Okay. They will do what it takes. And partners who share values about personal growth. Suppose personal growth is important to you. And if you can, put this across to your spouse, and suppose, your spouse is also feeling the alignment, then you will work towards investing your money, energy source towards personal development growth. You'll be aligned that way. Okay. You need to figure out by consistently making decisions that honor your both individual shared values. Sometimes it is individual values. Sometimes it could be shared. Somewhere you can converge. You need to figure out. And accordingly, if you take decisions, it's going to be a lasting effect. Okay. Then let's talk about brain strategies straight away. 5 brain strategies in order for you to apply, value-based decisions. Left brain approach. I mean, the first one is right brain approach. You're going to identify your core values. There are many techniques, many ways you can do it. You will simply have to take a value list and you're going to choose what values relate to you most. This is the first simplest thing. And in my community, if you want to subscribe, we'll do an elaborate exercise, step by step, very logical, pulling out reports, and that will give you a concrete data as to how you can align. Okay. In essence, the strategy behind this is you're going to identify by deeply reflecting what truly matters to you. These are the principles which is going to guide you your life decisions. Okay. If you're a professional evaluating job offers, you might want to realize that creativity and work-life balance, whether it is there or not. Of course, you'll have to weigh your higher payment, but then does it satisfy these two elements or not? Then sometimes your past decisions where you have felt confident and fulfilled, that could also help you align with your core values. So, many times we are clouded with judgment, right? We will not know, where is the guidance coming from. So you might want to look at your own mastery experiences, because when you pick up that, there are a couple of things which would be evident. One, you would have definitely took a blend of both logical and emotional brain. And if you go deeper, you will identify that somewhere you have operated out of one particular emotion. That could be likes, dislikes, or wants, desires. Somewhere you will touch either for yourself or you would have done it for others. And where is that coming from? Because you have that values. Maybe if you have done something really successful for your family, okay, for your child. And if you go deep down, you're satisfied in this, you're successful in that because you have worked out of your values, because family could be your values. And thereby you're able to take a blend of both logical and emotional aspect very easily, and success would have come. You just have to model it. Okay. The second one could be creating that value checklist. Once you're able to identify it, you're going to create that. Transform your core values into practical decision-making tool by creating a detailed checklist. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to evaluate potential business partners, how they might have, they might score candidates on integrity. So if you are a business person, if you're choosing your partnership, you might want to give a checklist, like you will give a tick mark if they are high on integrity. And what about creativity, innovation mindset? Are they open? Are they willing to adapt? Are they open to take risk? And then how committed are they to sustainability, maybe, if that is your core values? You will have your mental checklist at least, right? Similarly, have a value impact metrics. Okay. Draw a simple tabular column. So each choice, just simply pick up a list of core values from Google and you will figure out top 3 or top 6 values, whatever relates to you most, whatever truly matters to you most. And then in that, give that priority number. Okay. and it'll help you visualize which option is best for your principles of decisions. So it's a mental thought as well as something to do with writing, okay? Because when you write, it gives the clarity. So these are the starting step. And then you're going to evaluate that emotional impact. Logically, you're arriving at it, but then core values are always emotions, right? Emotional impact. Why you choose to do that? Why is it core value to you? There will be a story behind it. Usually, it will have an emotion. So consider how each potential choice will make you feel not just immediately, also weekly, months, years from now. Once you know that emotional impact, the metrics is to imagine yourself 5 years down the lane. How will you be when you operate from this zone of values? So, for example, when parents choose a school for their child, right, they might want to visualize how they would want to see their child standing on the stage and demonstrating their skills, and how happy they want to see their child winning over accolades, right? Academic excellence. So, that can help you align to your choice. So, another technique is a future self letter. Okay. Write a letter to your future self describing how this decision impacted your life by paying attention to anxiety or regret or anything which springs up, excitement, whatever surface, right? Just have it written. And I would rather say this is what my mentor had suggested when I did emotional intelligence exercise. One exercise is where we did coffin test. Imagine yourself in a coffin box, right? When we, in my community, we do this exercise where when we are working on the competency called pursuing noble goal, okay, we are fixing a mission, values, mission statement for an individual, no matter whether you are a full-time mom only or you're a working professional. An individual needs a mission. When I got introduced, I was thinking, why would I need a mission? I'm just a normal person who working towards my family savings and all that. Then I realized that is what is the driving force. Whenever I fall down in my life, in adversities, that helped me bounce back. So it's called a coffin test. So you have to imagine when you are at the coffin bed, what would you want people around you talking about? Usually they won't talk about how, how brilliant she was. She was able to really bring out these reports. She created a nice products. No, they will talk about emotional components like how she was able to connect with people. She was a great listener. She was so grateful. She was very honest. She fairly treated everybody. And she was a great leader. She impacted, she inspired. This is what you would like to hear about you, right? Because these are all emotional component. And it'll be an interesting exercise. We do it in our community because emotional intelligence is all about life skill. Okay, this is where the value component will also work a lot. And finally, after your self-awareness thing, you're going to consult with somebody to use your both brain, take an input from others, how they are looking at you. The best thing is to have a coach or a mentor who can give you that trusted advice. So they don't get, other people could not have that kind of an informed, awareness about it. Best that you go to an expert who knows this exercise or who knows this values for it. And you might also want to, depend on elders who have this experience. Some board of advisors always have that kind of people around you in your life. Okay. The next one is test with future vision. That's your right brain. That is where you're activating your visualizing brain. Position yourself in the future, vividly imagine the long-term consequences of your decision. Typically, the coffin test can also be one exercise where you're visualizing yourself in the deathbed, right? That's the highest thing that you can visualize. And how is it shaping up your life? And you're going to work reverse to understand, okay, if you want people to talk about you that way, what are all the things that you need to work, right? Now, case study, very important and very, you know, our favorite personality where everybody in the world can relate is Mahatma Gandhi ji. He's the father of our nation, India, and he as a person, how did he bring about values in the way he conducted his life? Because his commitment to non-violence as a value, truth as another value, and justice as another value greatly influenced. He exemplified value-based decision making at each transaction, especially after that incident where he was chucked out of the train in South Africa. He was a lawyer at that time and he got ill-treated that way. So that is the time where, that's what is the instigation for him. The civilian movement has started from there on. His mission was like that, to go against the nonviolence. So he consistently reflected his principles, his values, and inspired millions of people. And when I looked at his brain skills, right, when I did some case study, I was intrigued as to how his brain could have worked, what logical brain and emotional creativity brain he would have used, and how did he integrate. So his left brain says strategically, you know. So when we are talking about such a personality, okay, who's known for decision making with all these three values. His structured decision making. He just didn't go wildly. He knew there are a lot of people following. He had that responsibility, and he also had some ideas in his mind. So he structured that every movement, every yatra that he announced, he had a plan because that analysis was very important to align himself with his principles. He was not influenced with any other thing. He just stuck with nonviolence. And his right brain, helped him intuitively. He was able to, and emotional decisions also driven by his commitment to truth and justice and nonviolence only. So that's how the values held such a great personality. Anybody could get swayed, right? Somebody, so we are getting so many likes and comments, right? We get hyped. Imagine people with millions of followers and huge fame and money. They get swayed by their own greediness or emotions, right? So this person simplified, with the simplicity, he was stuck with his principles. No matter how many people followed him or not, he was very responsible in his words, in his action, in his movement. So his top talents could be integrity. That is the first thing came to my mind. Decisions related to personal integrity, how earning respect and admiration was possible for a simple person like that. He created a huge, he's called the father of the nation, not by simply doing some simple task, right? It could be a simple task, but the inspiration that he had, the impact that it made in others was huge. That means he lived with integrity, and his visionary leadership were helped inspired the entire nation towards that kind of a movement for independence. So his servant leadership style is inspired by value-based decisions only, by ethically and morally. With this being said, at this point in time, if you have any questions, it could be really daunting. I know. That is why I have a gift for you, where I'm going to give you, a quiz bundles where not only you're going to assess yourself in this particular skill set as value-based decisions, are you able to reflect and are you aligning your core values? Were you able to identify your core values and align that with the decision making? And how often do you listen to your own core values? And then how often can you align with other people's? What is the ability for you to read other people's core value? There could be so many questions. I'm going to give you a quiz bundles where you'll have a questionnaire for this episode also, along with other 100 episodes. Imagine for me to create that kind of a treasure, it's going to take a little more time. So there's a link in the description below. Register yourself. Of course, when I release it, it'll be for a cost, but I'm going to give it to you free of cost if you can engage in the comments. Not in the live comments, but then go back to the video in the unlisted playlist and register your comments. I'll pick you up as a winner and give you a 100% free coupon code. Okay. With that, you can access it lifetime, anytime, any number of times for all these 100 episodes. Okay. Then there is a workshop for women where we will open up brain style reports and core values and all that. We'll try to do a mock-up sessions in that workshop. And I will also tell you how you can pick up the real-time personalized brain style report, how you can do all that in the workshop. But then the workshop itself will be very fun and interactive. A new perspective towards learning emotional intelligence. Okay. And lastly, if you really like this kind of an episode, do give me a like symbol, love symbol, show me that love. It'll be an inspiration, and also share it with somebody whom you think it's most needed. Because as again I said, um, taking a value-based decision or learning emotional intelligence in depth like this, um, I didn't have any resources like this. Okay, especially the technological advancement is not only helping us upgrade ourselves and also be able to access a lot of people. So if you found this kind of insightful sessions helping you, impacted you in some way, I would want you to also spread this awareness and insights to people whom you think need this most. That much we can be helpful, and thereby shine with those that wisdom that you're gaining, and align your daily goals also using your core values. That is what is going to give you that maximum satisfaction and fulfillment. I'm going to be meeting you with another interesting episode, and we still have 50 more, at least 48, 49 more episodes to cover. Hang on there, and I really want to thank you for staying tuned. If you have still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, do so. And there is a podcast coming in for the same topic. Subscribe to my Spotify so you'll get notified for future episodes. And also all the other platforms links are given below. Use it as, because it's coming to you free of cost. Use it maximum, extract the juice, and make sure that you're growing and you're also growing others. I'll see you in the next